What's up guys, Stephen Bogren here from Pro Physique. Today we're going to talk about how to count alcohol into your macros. Alright, so hey y'all, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully everyone's having a really good Wednesday. I know this video is definitely going to be getting out a bit later than what I would like. However, it just sort of happens that way sometimes. So, before I get into it too much, I know you'll see this sweet, sweet shirt. That's right, finally got involved with the supplement company. So I went and, joined the ambassador program over at America Labs. So if you guys are ever looking for supplements, go do some research and then you'll end up coming over here anyway. So, just kidding, and core. But let's talk a little bit about the topic at hand, which is alcohol consumption and making it fit macros. Because let's be real here, we like to celebrate, we like to have a drink, like lifestyle in general is going to dictate that at some point in time we're probably going to want to drink. And if that is the case, then we want to be able to make that work within our goals, right? Now, are there times when it might make sense not to drink? Yeah, of course. Maybe you're, 3-4 weeks out from a show, macros, the calories are really low. Maybe you're just in a really hard diet. And it makes more sense to eat voluminous foods and to have something that's going to fill you up at that point rather than drinking alcohol. Yes, absolutely, that's correct. However, can you still drink alcohol? Yeah, absolutely. And so let's talk a little bit about how alcohol, can fit into our daily macros. So we know that protein is 4 calories per gram. We know that carbs are 4 calories per gram. I'm probably actually not going to put pictures here, so I don't know why I'm doing this, but we know that fat is 9 calories per gram. And then we have alcohol, which is going to be 7 calories per gram. So that means alcohol, or ETOH, right, is our second densest macronutrient in terms of calories, right? So how do we manage to make alcohol fit into our macronutrients? So first and foremost, it all starts with the calorie count of what you are drinking. And this is really the simplest and easiest way, and the way that I always recommend that people count alcohol. You take the calorie count of your, look, I'm doing it again, now I'm on this side. So you take the calorie count of whatever you're drinking, right? So say you're having a beer that's 180 calories, right? Or 200 calories. Let's go with 200 calories just to make it easy, right? So I want a 200 calorie beer. What am I gonna do? So the beer itself is 200 calories. All I have to do is divide it by 4, and I can take it out of my carbs for the day. So 200 divided by 4, that's 50. So I just drank 50 carbs. Or I can divide it by 9, and I can do the math for that one as well. And then take it out of fats. Or you can take it out of a mixture of both. Say I want to take 25 carbs out and like 10, 11 fats out, right? Still on point in terms of total calories for the day, and I made a very calorie dense beer work. So now, what about something like grain alcohol or vodka, whiskey, whatever it might be? So now, this makes things a little bit more complicated because the alcohol content of your distilled liquors is going to be based on their proofage, right? How strong in alcohol are they? Now, here in the States, most alcohols are going to be about 80 proof. So for 80 proof alcohol, you can assume that a 1.25 ounce pour is going to be roughly 125 calories. So that makes it pretty easy to start from there. When you start getting into, kind of dangerous territory, or really just territory where it's a hell of a lot more difficult to count those alcohol calories, is when you start getting into mixed drinks, using more liqueurs, things that are going to be higher in sugar content. And so at that point, your calorie content for that beverage changes. So if you're drinking straight corn liquor, that is a much higher proofage, therefore you're getting more alcohol, therefore you're getting more calories, right? So hopefully that makes sense. So really, the easiest way to drink is to drink simple. Hey, I'll have a Crown and Diet. Hey, I'll have a vodka soda. Hey, I'll have I don't know what people drink. I'll have a scotch neat. Scotch. And so that's really the easiest way to drink in terms of counting that alcohol into your macros and your targets for the day. So again, I think for me, the most important part is setting yourself up to where you're in a place to be successful, right? So if we don't have a lot of calories, maybe alcohol is not the best choice. If we do have plenty of calories, then maybe alcohol is a fine choice, right? Maybe alcohol is even a good choice at times. You know, say stress is up and, you know, we want to go out and have a drink with our friends. Are there better coping mechanisms? Yes. Does it still work once in a while? Yes. Let's, like, trying to be 100% perfect. There is no optimal, right? So we want to be realistic, and that's a realistic part of our society. But when your calories are higher, you have room to work with. There's no reason why you can't, as a responsible adult, go out and have a drink. The hard part is just sort of fitting it in. And this is something that I was actually going over with a client earlier today. And I think for me, the hard part is not necessarily just fitting it in. The hard part is like doing that while you're around your friends and having, you know, that social interaction. Because the truth of the matter is, if you're trying to do the shit on your phone and calculate it and count drinks while you're out and about, like, that's kind of puts you in a weird spot sometimes, right? And people might take that the wrong way, whatever the case might be. It can be misinterpreted. However, now, the way I would like to do this and the way I prefer to do it is I kind of have an idea of how many drinks I'm going to have before I ever go out, right? So I normally don't drink a lot in the first place, but like say maybe I'm going to want a beer and a couple cocktails and I'm going to be out for a good 5 hours. Well, I can plan for those beforehand, before I ever go out. So I already know, I have an idea of what kind of cocktails I'm going to have. I can switch it up. Maybe I want a whiskey coke, maybe I want a vodka tonic, maybe whatever it might be, right? Maybe I want a scotch neat. So it varies, and I still have some room in there, but I know I'm going to have two drinks. And then I'm going to have like one beer and sort of take my time with all of them as we go. Now, I haven't made anything awkward, right? I haven't given anybody any fuel to like make comments at me with. I haven't given anybody any reason to feel like uncomfortable because I'm tracking what I'm drinking, anything of the sort. I've already done that homework before. I've already planned out for what I'm going to do. So now it's just sticking to the plan. And so I think that that for me has been the best and the easiest way to still enjoy time out with my friends, to still have a good time, to be able to enjoy a drink and have that social part of my life, but to also like still like fit in and to just have things go smoothly. Now, do you have to do that and do you have to care about what people think? Fuck no. In fact, fuck people most of the time. But, you know, say sometimes it's easier, you know, sometimes you catch more flies with honey, right? So, and sometimes honestly, like, it's just easier not to deal with it, right? It's easier not to deal with the comments. So for some of us, I don't really care, to be honest. I don't care what people think about what I do and how I live my life. This is my life to live, so they can eat one as far as I'm concerned. And I think that, you know, to a point, that's a good outlook to have. There are people whose opinions I care about who have proven themselves, right? However, sometimes it's just nice not to have to hear about it, you know? And for some of us, we're not at that point. We do really care about what people think about us and what they say and see. And so we want to keep up that appearance, or we want to keep up, you know, those social environments. So that does matter. And that is a great way to sort of work around that if you're at that point. And remember, there is nothing wrong with being at either point, right? There's nothing wrong with either viewpoint or perspective, right? Because that's simply what they are. They're perspectives. So your perspective is your own choice, and that's how you want to dictate and run your life. And I don't want you to feel bad if you do care about, like, hey, I care about what people think. And I don't want you to feel bad if you don't care about, like, I should care about what people think. I think there's really, truly a happy medium with all things. It's kind of a balancing act. Sometimes we really do need to care and we should care. Sometimes we really shouldn't care. And so I think we all have that tendency to be towards one end of the spectrum or the other. And really we all have to work on kind of finding a middle ground that works well for us, myself included. But that's it, guys. Hopefully that helps you to log your alcohol, plan it out, make it a workable part of your lifestyle and social environment, and just sort of have a little bit of fun. So, till next time, guys. Ah, I did that!